Everybody, welcome to video 1 of how to improve your hip mobility. Now, this video sequence series is going to be more geared towards my hockey players, more specifically the goaltenders, on how to improve a lot of that extreme internal external rotation as well as abduction when they're dropping into butterfly or going into the splits, how to really unlock that mobility. And we're going to walk you through on how to do it safely and build up the strength and resiliency in the hips. Now, I think most of us appreciate and understand how important it is to have good mobility and flexibility in our joints, especially in the hips. Now, the hips is where we drive most of our power from as athletes and as human beings. But if we start to lose the ability to control movement and propel movement out of those hips, then we end up beating up on joints, tissues, and other areas of the body above and below. Now, today's primary video, we're just going to work on this very basic shin box or seated hip 90-90 position. We're going to maintain a nice tall posture, and we're just going to focus on breathing. If we can maintain a good breath into the belly, it's telling us that our nervous system is very happy and it's comfortable here. We shouldn't feel any pinchiness or we shouldn't feel any real discomfort in the hips. Now, from here, we're going to work on moving in and out of these positions. So what I want you to do is you're just going to simply shift your weight without losing a good tall spine, and you're going to try and pick up that back foot. Now, you might get a little crampy in the back of the glute here. That's okay, because then we're going to slowly transition the opposite way. So we're going to push that foot into the ground and pry that hip open. Okay, and then we're going to switch back and forth. We're going to hold here for about 1 to 2 breaths. And then we're going to switch and try and pry that hip open. Each time you do it, you should feel a little bit more range and make the foot active. You're going to grip the ground with the foot to pry that hip open. Now, once we've done a little bit of prying here, we're going to lift that leg and slowly, with control, bring it around to the front. And then as we switch, we're going to switch it over to the other side. Now, as we transition, shift your weight over to that opposite hip so that we can make some clearance for that right hip. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to try and pick up that back foot. Stay here. 1 to 2 breaths. And then we're going to pry that hip open. Take it to the end range. Just where it's tight. No pain is allowed. And again, breath, tall posture. Tell the nervous system we're okay here. And then from here, we're just going to pick up that leg. Try and maintain as tall a posture as you can. And we're going to swing it around. Once you can start feeling those muscles activate around the glutes, you're going to start to own. You're going to start to really feel those hips starting to open up. And yes, we are stretching things, but we're adding strength and control through some end range isometrics in those extreme short and long ranges so that we can teach the muscles that when we stretch them, they know how to control the joint in those ranges and those new positions that we're putting them in. So we're just going to do another one on each side. We're going to pry, and we're going to lift a couple times, and then we're going to transition. Very simple. From here, we can even add on a little bit of a slide and a reach. If you do get some tightness in the rib cage or in that outer hip, we can slide down here and really open up that outer hip, the outer ribs, and the outer core or low back muscles that might be getting in the way as well. If this does not clear up any of the issues that you're having or restrictions in the hip, you might want to go to some of my hip mobility videos where we're using bands to create some space in the hip joints, and then apply some of these active ranges. But try this 3 to 5 reps on each side. Move slowly. The more you hold and work on those muscles and make that mind-muscle connection, the increased control and strength, and the less likely you're going to have a hip or knee injury later down the road. If you found this video helpful, hit that little subscribe button or like and share it to any other athletes or just humans, friends that you have who you know can benefit from improving some hip mobility. You'll be surprised at how it affects low back, neck, ankles, knees, every other joint above and below that. It can be affected from tight hips. So I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you in the next video.